Hi, today is November 30th, 2023, another update on all the things. So I'm still oxalate dumping, now grain dumping, and I'm still recovering from my ankle surgery 1 month ago. It was just over 4 weeks ago. So yeah, I think that things are trending in the right direction. I'm still obsessively watching Peter Osborne's videos on YouTube. I cannot recommend his channel enough. He's so knowledgeable and a genuinely good guy. So a couple days ago, I finished reading his book No Grain, No Pain, and I really recommend that too. It's just such an eye opener. And I mean, what I take away from his videos and his book is, I think anyone could benefit from eliminating grains from their diets, even if they're not gluten intolerant or sensitive, because the way grains are stored, it's kind of like conducive to mold, which can be really bad for you. So um, yeah, I'm definitely cutting those out. And I do feel better. I mean, in addition to the oxalate dumping, although I'm still having some major episodes of hives, and that is so not fun. But it's got to get done. All this dumping's got to get done. So I think it's kind of inevitable. So yeah, this past week I have not slept a lot at all because of all the itching from the hives. But hopefully that means that I'm getting rid of the stuff that needs to go. Um, yeah, and my ankle is feeling better. I'll show you what it looks like now. Not much change. Pretty pretty much the same, I would say. Um, and yeah, I think that what's triggering all these things is is just, I think that when it comes to chronic disease, it all comes down to food and environment. So it's really critical to take out food, like if you're dealing with chronic pain in some form. I mean, it could be one of various things, whether it's joint pain or sciatica or rheumatoid arthritis. I mean, those are all kind of overlapping a little bit, but like it could be named a whole bunch of different things. But um, yeah, it could all come from the same like thing, like grains or something that you're allergic to that you don't even know. So later in I think a month or a month and a half, I'm going to be seeing an allergist. I think it's January 4th. And I want to get some testing done. Although some tests are just not as accurate as others. Apparently, blood tests are much better than like prick tests, because prick tests will only show you what your body will immediately react to. And sometimes things are not that obvious. They don't show up immediately. It's like a slow, insidious poison, which I think has been the case for me because I was not able to readily identify what was going on. I feel so silly because I actually did get genetic testing done in 2020, early 2020. And I didn't look at the report that closely because it's kind of long and exhaustive, but I pulled it out a couple nights ago, and it turns out I'm more prone to have celiac disease than other people. So that, that's kind of a tip off that I shouldn't be having wheat or gluten or even grains, any grains. Rice, for instance, it can have cadmium and arsenic, which is not good. So I think it's just best just to eliminate them all. And fortunately, there are good alternatives. I just got a food dehydrator, so I'm going to be making my own alternative flours, because I love baking. I love baked foods, and I'm not ready to give that up. But maybe I don't have to. I want to make my own pea protein powder because it's expensive if I buy it straight from like Amazon or wherever. And let's see, I want to try to make squash flour. I'm excited about that. I just bought a huge squash, spaghetti squash. And according to a website on the internet, you can use any squash. So I'm going to try that maybe tonight. And then, yeah, I'm using coconut flour. let's see, I'm using psyllium husk. There, all those things, I kind of combine them. So I haven't acquired the taste quite as, I haven't embraced the taste quite as much as like flour, um, baked goods, flour-based baked goods, so conventional flour. But to me, it's worth it to forego some taste if it means getting more healthy. And I genuinely think that everyone is probably, I feel like everyone, even like really health-minded people, are experiencing health problems, and is experiencing health problems. And I think it comes down to soil quality, and it's just not as nutrient dense as before. They're kind of leached of a lot of minerals and vitamins and all this good stuff. I mean, they've just been taken out. So a tomato from like 50 years ago is just not quite as healthy as even an organic tomato today. I mean, back then, I mean, you didn't have to say organic. I think everything was kind of organic, or I don't know if it was 50 years ago, but maybe like 70 years ago. I think everything was pretty much organic. But you know what I mean. I'm not sure what the exact, how far you have to go back to label like the default as organic, but foods are just not as healthy, and I think we're paying the price for it now, and we just have to be mindful about replacing those lost nutrients. So I'm really big into supplementation. I have ordered from Dr. Osborne's Gluten-Free Society website, sort of this multi-pack for like, it's like Gluten Shield and like this multivitamin and an omega-3 complex. And I think there was one other thing. I think there was 4. But I'm excited to try it because apparently supplements can have wheat. They have wheat fillers. So it's never ending. And another thing too is that I'm replacing all my containers, or at least many of them, from plastic to glass, because even plastics can leach not so good stuff into the food. I mean, our environment is just so like, it sets us up for failure, unfortunately, and we have to be so careful about, setting ourselves up, like just like undoing that setup, and really go out of our way to not have these toxic things in our environment, and also not go out of our way to over clean, because I think with especially COVID, we got really heavy into disinfectants and stuff, and we're getting rid of the good bacteria as well as the bad bacteria. So when I go out, I try to touch the leaves and the tree bark and the bushes, and all the things to kind of reconnect to nature, and also more like microorganisms, because we are as much bacteria cells as we are human cells. And I think we've generally been good at decimating our microbiome. So I'm really focusing on building that, also with all the fermented foods that I'm eating, the yogurt, the kefir, sauerkraut, and kefir water. So that's the deal. I hope you're well. Things are looking up on my end, and I'm excited to see where I will be in just a few months. I have a good feeling it's gonna be good. So stay tuned. Hope you're well, and until next time, take care. Bye.